Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther, the third. You know, this is the opening of UK Wrestling Week. I love the UK wrestling scene, and I liked it ever since we started this podcast. And there's a woman that I want to introduce to open this week. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Rhio.
Hello,
Welcome,
everybody. Hello. How are
welcome,
you all?
welcome.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Um, I know if our internationally known fans are not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Rhio, and I am the ICW Women's World Champion. So ICW standing for Insane Championship Wrestling. You might have seen me as well on Progress. Won the Thunder Bastard tournament back in January, so I also hold the key for that. And I have recently just won the North NCL Cup. So North is a promotion here in England in Newcastle, which is really starting to get some kind of momentum behind it. So I've got some big stuff coming up, but I think ICW Women's World Champion might be the way that you might know me best.
Yes, wow. Like I saw that and I was like, now we got a lot more to talk about. Like,
I think there's a lot to talk about on that one.
yeah. Who trained you?
So it was a mixture of people that have trained me, but predominantly towards like the end of my training, it was Dean Allmark and Ashton Smith. So Ashton Smith being an NXT UK and Dean Allmark being worldwide known and being literally one of the best veterans that we have here in the UK. So
Wow. So what was it what was it like that like what was your energy like for your first match? Like what was going through your mind?
panic. It was all panic. Because my first match actually was a last minute thing, as can happen in wrestling. So they needed someone, and there was like, right, your time's up. You're going in. So because I was only training still, so I was just training, not on the shows. And then my debut, literally, I got told probably like an hour before the show started that right now we need you. So I kind of got thrown into the deep end. So it was more panic than anything else. But it was fun. It was a tag match, so it was, maybe not as brutal as it could have been, but yeah, like it was so last minute, and I was like, oh, am I ready? I don't know. Like second
Oh,
guessing myself.
jeez. It was like that TikTok. I'm panicking. Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
panicking. No, I'm panicking.
that was exactly it. 100%.
Oh, jeez. Um, so Um, so where is there any other place in the world or within the UK that you would like to travel to that you haven't been to yet?
Pretty much UK wise, pretty much I've like kind of I wrestle a lot in Scotland, England. I wrestle a lot. My bookings in Wales, they're also quite good to be fair, so I can't complain. The place that I haven't is Northern Ireland and Ireland, so I would love to do those ones. So hopefully, there's something that I can get ticked off the list, and then maybe more Europe stuff.
Mm.
Considering how easy it should really be for me to get to Europe, hopefully that would be something that this year has. But looking at it, it's happening. Europe is looking very bright this year for me. So
Yes,
that's
very much so. Like, is there any wrestler within America that you've been watching on the YouTube or on Instagram that you have on your wish list that you want to wrestle?
well, I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, I think we've had Ali Catch here sometimes. Like she comes over. So I'd love to wrestle Ali because she's been here, and I'm like, oh, we've kind of passed each other by. Never really had like a lot of time with each other. I've always wanted to wrestle Athena, like always. So hopefully at some point that'll happen. And actually, what I did forget to say before, Tony Storm, she trained me for a very short period of time, but like she then got taken, WWE and now AEW and Japan and everything that she's done. So I'd love to wrestle Tony and see what
Mm.
I'd do against her as well.
I don't know if yeah, you did, you liked it, but the one I would like to see you wrestle if you ever come to the States is King Kylon King.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, yes. That would be. I'm up for it. I'm up
That
for it.
would be a great. I think that would be a 6 star match, like they say in the in Japan. I'm like, I saw that, and I'm like, oh my god, Rio versus King for all the gold, for all the gold. Everybody, he has 3 titles right now.
Oh yeah, that's someone I need to be wrestling then.
Yes,
Hell
for all
yeah.
the gold. You hear that? CCW in Delaware. You need to bring Rio over to have her a mystery opponent. You book it right now. Book
Right
it.
now, like right now.
Book it now. Bring
Hundred
Rio to
percent,
the
100%.
Yeah, I have to make the hashtag bring Rhio to the States.
Yes, that needs to be a thing. It definitely does. I must admit, I've had a few of some promotions in the States start following me recently. So hopefully, this year we might get that happening.
I
Here's
have to
hoping.
I have to yeah, I guess I have to get on it and start adding other promotions and sending them to you. I'm like, "Hey, CCW, PPW, everybody, keep your eyes out. We have a star right here that could be our new star here in America." Like, yeah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I see,
So,
and if I came to America, I'd have to do even more things because I've got to prove that I am who I am. So I'd have to go there. I can't just go there and be mid or mediocre. So
yeah.
makes it all the more interesting.
Yeah. So, what is it like for a day in the life of Rio, the day of a wrestling show? What is it like what's going on with you like a day?
Oh, I think for the most part, like a lot of the stuff because of where I live. So because I live in Preston, it's kind of like the northwest. So it is a good place, as in location wise, for when I say I'm looking at Scotland or you're looking at London. It's kind of pretty much the same getting there either way. So it's quite accessible, but usually a lot of my shows are like 3 hours away or 4 hours away, which I know for American wrestlers is like a breeze and their dream, but like UK wrestlers, 3 and 4 hours is like, oh god, it's such a drive, it's such a chore because we don't have like that length like you guys have. So I know like there's American wrestlers that are doing like 8 hours there and 8 hours back, and in the UK that just wouldn't happen. Like would no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. So
Like where I
you
live,
know,
it's rough. Sorry. Like where I live,
no,
it's rough. Yeah, where I live, it's rough because like I live in Pennsylvania and like there's some wrestlers that like they travel from like certain towns all the way over to like towns far away. Like I live in a town called Milford, and like people travel from where I live all the way over to like an Allentown. That's like a 2 hour ride just to do a wrestling show.
yeah.
Or
So
they
it's
go
2 hours
from
in like the same area.
yeah, or like in New York, you go from New York. There's wrestlers go from New York to like Delaware to like and like then they're like, okay, I got to go to Delaware. Then I have to go to Jersey this week, so they're never home. So like who's watching your animals? Like, what is going on? That cat has been. It's gonna look like Stewie with the diaper there, but when they didn't come home and Stewie had the diaper on for like a week, it's like we're wearing the same diaper for a week. Oh, that
Yeah,
poor
that's
animal.
crazy.
Yeah, like you have to bring your dog or cat with you when you're on the road, right? Like, do you have a if you're on the road, do you bring your dog or cat with you, Rio, or do you like have someone watch it? Like, what do you do?
Oh, see, I live at home still with my parents, so like I definitely she's looked after. She's at home, where happy. I took her to a wrestling show. She'd cause nothing but chaos. So
Gee,
nothing but chaos, and I don't think she'd like to be in the car that long. She wouldn't be
yeah.
a fan of that. So yeah, she's best off at home. So I always leave her at home. But I do.
Yeah.
We'd love to see more dogs at wrestling shows in the UK. They're
Yeah.
always very popular.
Around here, you really don't see them at a show. Like it's like maybe if it's a service dog, and I'm like, I look at things is that dog gonna be able to handle the loud music from the speakers and the bell and the loud announcer? Like, what are they get? I know it's a service dog, but is this dog trained right? Like, oh
Yeah.
no,
What must that dog be thinking like when it hears all the noises? It must be thinking like, what the hell am I doing here?
yeah.
How did we
Why is
get here?
why is my owner screaming? Is he dying? Oh no. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Here, here goes the fun part of the questions. What kind of food do you like?
do you know I like Italian. I'm
Okay,
a fan of like the
Italian.
carbs, the pasta, the breads. That's my scene.
Do you like pizza?
Yeah. Yeah, I do like pizza, to be fair.
What kind
Yeah.
of pizza?
Well, I'm pescatarian, so there's not many options. I know a lot of people might give you something like a meat feast or a pepperoni or whatever, but do you know what? I like the places that I can build my own because then I can shove like a load of my stuff on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like
yeah.
my favorite ones. So usually it's like a margarita. Let's keep it basic, but then let me add my stuff in though. Let
Okay.
me add some like jalapenos in, and like let me have some gherkins / pickles in, stuff like that. Like let me throw it up a bit.
Okay. Okay. Do you collect anything?
Other than championships, no.
There you go. That's a good answer. I like that. That's a good answer. And we are the internationally known home of champions, so add another championship to the Wall of Fame. Like
This is it. You know what I mean? I'm racking them up this year, so I'm not going to stop. But yeah, otherwise, no. I don't collect anything really. No.
has fans ever like given you anything of that they've done the like art or like pops or anything that of you that say, "Oh, I made this for you."
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely. Let me see if I can grab one actually. Because I've got one fan and she does artwork and she's done me quite a few different pictures, and they're actually so sick. Let's
Oh
see if I
wow.
can turn it around. So like, if you can
Oh,
see
oh
that.
wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
What's the name of that artist so you could shout her out during the podcast?
What is her name? Let me kind of figure that out, and if not, I'll tag her in it on my socials. So
Okay.
anyone who wants to see it can take a look because she's incredible. Like
Yeah.
she does paintings of all sorts of different wrestlers that she sees in the UK. So her paintings are really good.
Okay. Okay. So like when you're done with the podcast, we just screenshot or take a picture of them and I'll post them on the social and you can send me her Instagram so I can shout her out and give her a big boost, you know?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll do that.
We love helping wrestling fans that do their artwork all the time. Like there's a guy, shout out to Joe Alphabet. He's from Canada. He did my original logo for Dudes at Ringside, and he's a good guy, very sweet. He's on Instagram. You can look him up, Joe Alphabet. I'll send you his Instagram. He's a good guy, super
Oh
awesome at
yeah,
art. His
yeah.
art
Send it
style,
over.
his art looks like something out of Teen Titans.
Oh, cool. Okay, yes. Let's have a look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it looks so cool. Rio, do you have any merch? And if you do, where can our fans find it to purchase it?
So I'm running low on t-shirts at the minute. I've got 8x10s. I'm kind of, do you know what? Maybe this might help my decision. So basically, I'm thinking of doing some more merch, but didn't know whether to shy away from a t-shirt. I've done a t-shirt now, and I know it's like wrestler number one to get a t-shirt merch. So maybe if anyone is interested, drop like some comments on the video or anything like that. Let me know if there's any merch that maybe fans would want. Like because I know that obviously different. I mean, especially in the States, you've obviously got your different weathers for your different states. So different than like here, it's pretty much across the board raining, pretty
Mm,
raining, grey, cloudy. So like here, I think jumpers and stuff are appreciated, but I've not done one yet. But maybe hit me up on if there is anything different that fans would want wrestlers to bring out because that's something I always find a bit interesting. Is there something that fans would say, no wrestlers do this or minimum wrestlers do such a merch, and then I'll have a look at maybe bringing something different out if someone can give me some suggestions.
they're around in the States. I don't. There's a lot of people in the UK that do it too, the pro wrestling tees. But like a lot of
Mm.
people don't go for them because a lot of things. But all I see is pro wrestling tees, and a lot of people use that one. But if there's a better one in the UK that of, like it's always rough.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because to be fair, when I like brought my t-shirts out, I pretty much just sold them at the shows I was on. So like people were asking about it, and I was like, oh okay, but then because of the shows I was doing, like I was just selling out like certain sizes and stuff. So each time I was looking, I was like, oh, I haven't got this left, I haven't got this left. So what I will do, maybe I'll do like a pre-order thing, and then like I'll put it on my socials, and then if people want to buy something, I'll then take a look at the shipping and stuff, and I'll obviously maybe then section that off for like any fans in the States, then they know like the final cost. But maybe just predominantly going through myself, to be fair. I
Yeah.
think it
Helps
might
you
be.
out better, like because you said you only sell shirts at the shows, like it's hard because most wrestlers don't even use pro wrestling tees, and they're just going to the ship shop in the little town like I live in and sending t-shirts and stickers, and it costs them more than it costs them to send it than it
Mm-hmm.
is to buy the wrestling shirt. So the wrestler's spending $35 to send this person the shirt and the sticker, but when they buy it on the website, it's like $20.
Yeah.
So like,
It's mad, and it is a hard one, you know. I thought it'd be easy just bringing a t-shirt out malarkey, but it's it's bloody
yeah,
difficult.
yeah, it's like what's his name from the Hangover when he's doing the math and the squiggles are over his head. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
that's like the wrestler trying to okay, so I'm spending $35, but they're only paying $20. How does this make sense? Like
Yeah. What's going on?
what's going on? But error. That's
Pretty
me.
much, yeah. Error, straight error.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, because I'm sending stickers to wrestlers, and it's like I had lanyards, but I can't put a lanyard in the envelope because in the UK they'll make me do a whole sheet that sends like it was terrible. Wrestlers UK wrestlers like, oh, you only send me a sticker. I'm like, I have to go through a whole two sheets just to send a lanyard and say how much does a lanyard cost, where did I get it from, and I'm like, I don't wanna have to go through border crossings for a piece of tag with a piece of metal attached to it. Like,
Yeah. I
no.
must admit, you know, like the UK customs, like it is, they do work hard on stuff. They want to know exactly what's in the in the package, or like where it's like say where it's come from, how much it weighs, what it is exactly, and they want to know everything. Which, yeah, you know, safety wise is good, but for the innocent people of the world, it's trouble in it.
Yeah.
So,
So are you playing any, video games right now, Rio?
do you know what? I'm not, unfortunately. No, no, I
Mm,
missed it. I miss it though. I used to, but recently, like, I find it hard. Like you say, in the UK, it's, I would say maybe, I don't saying I can't really say, but I feel like it's harder for people to be full time wrestlers in the UK. So I have like a side job, like an agency job that I do, which is then I can pick my hours and stuff, and I work around my wrestling. So it's kind of like with that, and then trying to go to the gym and wrestling training and wrestling whenever I do, like I'm just so tired most of the time. So,
mm,
you know, it's even like the commitments of like just washing your gear and making sure that's ready for the next show and airing it out. And I feel like sometimes I'm just so worn out that I'm like, ah,
mm.
I just literally put like, I do the whole scroll on Instagram of numerous videos and then go down some like conspiracy theory rabbit holes and things like that.
Oh, jeez. I do that on YouTube when I was sick. When I got sick for a while during the pandemic, and I got around Christmas time, I got caught a cold, and I don't know what it was, and all of a sudden, I went into on down the rabbit hole of Home Alone, and it gave me all
Ah,
these random videos, this and that about the this and then that about, Joe Pesci and what happened to Joe Pesci during one of the scenes. I heard he when he fell, he got hurt, and I was like, "Is that true?" And I kept, like, looking it up, and I was like, "Is that true?" And no, and some videos are like, "Yeah, he did." Some videos are like, "No, he didn't." And I was like, "Which one is true?" I didn't know what was going on. So, my last question for you, Rio, if there's any, young wrestling fans watching this interview, what kind of advice would they give you? What kind of advice would you give them on becoming a professional wrestler?
oh, I think the main thing is always find find the best school you can. So I obviously know with that becomes like costs and things like that. I can understand if maybe like the best school is quite far away from where you live or whatever, but try and find like the most reasonable school for you, like the one that's most cost effective, but standard wise, make sure they have the standards in place because you, at the end of the day, ultimately, you're paying to be trained, and you want to be trained by the best people, which will help you get the furthest. You know, so make sure that the trainers are also worthy of training. That's a hard one sometimes, I think, because you sign up to a wrestling school and you think, oh, this is great, but make sure that your trainers are able to train. I know that sounds really bizarre, but like having a good school with a good reputation, it's like I would rather pay the little bit more for that than, you know, pay under and then get, like I say, you kind of get what you pay for, don't you? So just make sure that it's a reputable school with trainers that know what they're doing, and it's a safe place for you to train, and they've got everything in place that they need to. That's the best place to start. So get a good school, and then from there, I think you start finding yourself from there. You meet new people, and you obviously meet fans. Like everyone, all of us are all fans of wrestling. So, you meet other people who then may have ideas for you, or you have ideas for them, and you just start really like having this cool little vibe with each other. So yeah, a good school, and then find good people in your circle. Your circle doesn't have to be big. It can be small, but just make sure it's strong. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And I finally got you. I'm so excited. I finally
Yeah,
got
I'm
you.
so sorry about that wait. It's me and me
Oh no.
planning a schedule.
I know, because I know you guys with the times, my times, I'm like, because she's busy, she's winning all these belts, and I'm like, we're never gonna get her. But then finally got you. We got in touch, and everything went well, and I'm so glad. And thank you so much. I'm Joe Panther the Third. Your turn.
And I'm Rhio.
And we will catch you in the next.